What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Macho Movie Madness.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Brandon. Alongside me always is Andrew, and today we've got a Warehouse B episode for you. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what episode this is actually. What is this?
23.
23 episode. See, this is why I have Andrew around. He's got all the facts and all the knowledge.
Well, the reason I remember we're still recovering from number 22.
Yeah.
Night Beast.
Don't remind me. So today for episode 23, it's Leviathan, which I don't know how many people have watched this movie, Andrew, but this is a sleeper in my opinion. Yes. After watching this for the very first time, Leviathan was released in 1989, starring Peter Weller, Ernie Hudson, Richard Crenna, which I love. You have Amanda Pays, Daniel Stern from Home Alone fame, and Michael Carmine, Hector Elizondo, and Meg Foster.
Lisa Eilbacher, who was in Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, yeah, Lisa Eilbacher, yeah. And that was pretty much it, I think, though, wasn't
it? Just some I wouldn't call them A-list stars, but some really good actors, and they're like B-movie level.
Yeah, but they've been in so many, so many big movies, too. Which, I mean, Hector Elizondo was in like Pretty Woman and a bunch of different stuff.
I know him best for being Adrian Monk's psychiatrist, which was job, wasn't it?
Yeah. This is 1989, so this is a couple years after RoboCop. So Peter Weller had already kind of blown up a little bit and became somewhat of a star. Richard Crenna, who is like a colonel in everything, was actually a doctor in this one, was kind of cool. Martin, played by Meg Foster, was like the head of Meg Foster. Yeah, I know she was whatever she was, but so this tri-oceanic group. Actually, do you want to break down the plot of this?
Yeah, they're underwater miners, and they've hired this geologist. He's kind of on his first tour of duty, Peter Weller, who plays Beck, because he just knows where to find minerals, and they're mining for silver. And thanks to Daniel Stern's character Six Pack, who's just we said he was a total creep in this thing.
Yeah, he is kind of a creep.
They find the Russian sub, with all these human remains in it, and they bring back all the effects that they find. And one of the things they bring back is flask of this vodka. And long story short, the doctor figures out that they were conducting these experiments to kind of make these people like frogmen or something, like so they could survive underwater. And of course, they don't know it. They start drinking the vodka and start turning. And pretty soon, you've basically got Alien, but it's underwater. And with this cast of characters. And man, to me, this is almost the epitome of a Warehouse B. This is
for sure. It's kind of got elements of The Thing a little bit, but more like Alien, I think, than anything. Just more experimental stuff instead of alien technology or alien life. Pretty cool. It's a pretty cool story. I gotta say, I was really, really surprised by this movie.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of, it didn't have a lot of good action, but it had some decent action, but it really just had a lot of good suspense and good building, I think.
Yeah.
The character development for the most part was pretty decent. I liked pretty much everybody in the movie, even Daniel Stern, who was a creep. He played his role well in a short period of time that he was in the movie.
Yeah.
And all in all, I really, really enjoyed this.
Yeah. They gave him quite a lot to bite into, like Richard Crenna. That opening scene wherever DeJesus has got a hole in his suit and he's flipping out because his oxygen's off. They can't find the dock anywhere, and he's supposed to be on a job like this. And I love, Peter Weller's character, Beck. This is his first management job. He's reading like a 1-minute manager book or something. Trying to earn their respect. They did a lot as far as building of the characters. And I think that really makes you feel for them once they start getting knocked off.
Yeah. And, of course, you everything starts to unfold and they start peeling back stuff. Doc is really starting to kind of figure this stuff out, because one of those items in that safe that they brought back from that Russian ship was a Captain Log videotape, and there's a lot of different other things where they find out basically all these guys are dead, and that something was going on there. When they took video footage of this wreckage, it looked like a missile, like a torpedo had blown out the side of it, which, Beck automatically just assumes is wrong anyway. It couldn't be. Like he didn't take too much seriously at first because he's already got so much on his plate. Doc, who knows like all these different languages, German, Swahili, Russian, can translate all this stuff, and he's kind of figuring out, okay, maybe they attacked themselves, and then by the end of it, you realize why they attacked themselves to basically stop the threat of this thing spreading or getting out. So they either protected themselves or the world. However, whatever their motive was, they ended it right there. But of course, Daniel Stern, being the creep six pack, he brought it back with him.
Yeah, and he's the cause of one of my favorite lines in this movie. Of course, we were talking off camera. The dialogue in this movie is great. Written by David Webb Peoples, who did a lot of the dialogue for Blade Runner. But that whole scene where he keeps calling Becky, and he's like, if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six pack, I'm gonna pop your tops.
I'm gonna pop all six of them. Yeah, that was a really good line.
The lines with Ernie Hudson, those were just so good.
Yeah, the Ernie Hudson lines was good. Bitch, we still in it. And of course Meg Foster's a CEO, and she does a pretty good job in what little role she has. She plays that. You can't really get past those. Those are the craziest eyes I've ever seen. Yeah, just like I don't think she's that beautiful of a person, but she is, because like the eyes, I don't know.
They're just striking. Yeah,
they're just very striking, and she plays that role well of deceptive, whatever she is in any role. She's I'm just so used to her in They Live. Yeah, she's deceptive in that too. Of course, she which I think they're starting to suspect something's going on. They probably already kind of knew about the Russian thing, which they don't really tell, but Doc has that kind of idea by the end of it.
Yeah,
that maybe they're already catching on with what they're telling them, and she's lying to him about this. You find out at the end she's lying about this hurricane that's coming through over them that is going to prevent them from getting rescued. So I don't know. There's a lot of deception in this movie too, which I really like.
They get on like a very primitive version of the internet, and they find out that they've all been declared dead. I thought, that's the company for you right there. Yeah. A lot of similarities to Alien in that regard, about this evil company. And even Jerry Goldsmith scored both of these movies. And sometimes the score reminded me of Alien just a little bit.
It did. Yeah, it was very tense. And I was going to mention that actually next. I love the score in this movie for the most part. There's one particular moment that I won't say just yet that I didn't like. Do you want to get into kind of like pros and cons of this?
Yeah.
Do you have any? First of all, I mean, we've already talked about kind of the pros. I mean, the suspense is great. The music's great. I love the plot of this thing. I love all the characters.
I like the set design, where they're in the bowels of the, not the ship, but the rig that they're in, and how dark it is down there. It adds to the suspense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically it. That and the characters. The characters are great in this movie. What did you have for cons?
The monster and the effects the practical effects really weren't that bad either. I liked a lot of the practical effects in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the cons go, I'll be honest, up until the very end, it didn't even really have any.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed this movie. Is it Alien? No. But it's close. Like, it's not I don't know if it's close, but it's good. Yeah. Like, this is a really solid movie. It's fairly well acted. I mean, really, everybody sells and takes their role very seriously. So the way that's laid out, the way it's done, it seems like this maybe kind of somewhat ridiculous sci-fi plot seems that much more serious.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could put it almost on a level of Alien.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I really can. Like, it is a good movie.
Yeah. Con wise, I did like the creature, but you could tell some of toward the end, and Stan Winston's guys, I don't know how much Stan Winston had to do with it, but I know his guys helped create this thing. It did seem a little cumbersome, when it was coming after him. Yeah. But really, that's about it.
Yeah. There really wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
The actual cons of themselves towards the end, was just the ending itself. I thought it was really odd. So basically, the first creature that started to form was Six Pack and
Bowman.
Bowman, and that kind of they kind of like assimilated and started to merge together and become this creature. Well, they were able to tie it up before it got too wild and basically lower it down into the abyss of the water. And on the way down, one of the arms or tentacles kind of got cut off and then got away, and then that started to like mutate and attack other people, assimilate into them as well. So the second creature, well, and I guess there was a third technically, because Doc started turning into one. I don't know if he didn't assimilate with the Jesus creature, did he?
I don't think so. If he did, I missed that part.
But you can just assume he blew up or imploded with the thing when they escaped at the
Right.
end. But
which was a cool scene in itself.
Which was a really cool scene and very tense. But I didn't like, and this is spoiler alert for everybody, but the creature coming up out of the water at the end with them, I thought was like, I kind of rolled my eyes. I was like,
yeah,
like how
last jump scare.
Yeah, but it's just like, how did it get up there, and how long it would have taken that thing to get up there, where they had to use the oxygen tanks or whatever to shoot themselves up in the water.
But I guess for argument's sake, it was reptilian. It was part fish or whatever.
Yeah, you're right.
But I did hate to see Jones go out that way.
And that's another thing. It was just so weird to have Jones go out that way. The sharks also was one last little tense thing that I thought was kind of goofy. After all these things, all the mutations, you have sharks circling them, and then of course they scared them off.
That you could almost see that was kind of probably like a last minute boardroom decision. Oh, we need sharks in this scene. So.
Let's just throw something else in there crazy. Like but Jones getting it right at the very end was kind of silly, I thought. But whatever. The problem that I had with Jones dying more so was the music that they played.
Yeah.
Did you like the score was this happy-go-lucky theme, once but they started playing it by the time he shot he threw that dynamite or whatever it was in the mouth of the creature and blew it up. Jones had already started sinking. He was dead. And they were reeling him back into the chopper to take off into the air and then land on the oil rig or whatever, the shell base.
Right.
Anyway, it was just the music started so early, and like this, we're literally 20 seconds out of Jones dying, that one last death, and then the creature dying, and you're playing not even tense music.
Yeah, it was very happy.
Yeah, it was too much. Like I think the happy music should have came after he punched Meg Foster, which was hilarious.
Can't get away with that today, but man, do I love it.
No, you can't. But it was so funny because she walks out and she's like, I knew you'd make it, giving him that, I never doubted you for a second. Thank God you're still alive. And then he just knocks her out.
How do you feel? Better.
Better. All in all, though, great movie, guys. You have to check this out. This isn't like, this isn't an A movie, it's a B movie, but the way I'm going to score this is actually on more of a serious scale for Warehouse B. This is not your Leprechaun. This is not even your Samurai Cop. I mean, this is a full-blown good movie.
Yeah.
It's just not a big budget movie.
Which also got a 4K release for the first time ever, so be sure and check it out.
Really? Awesome. I did not know that. You're looking like 103 minutes, so it's not a very long movie. I also forgot to mention that budget is $21 million, and it made $19 million in US and Italy. So it didn't really make money. But I think this is actually a really solid movie.
Yeah.
Like this is a solid movie. And if it wasn't for just that little bit at the end with the music and Jones dying and not that it was all terrible, but it was just weird. It just didn't finish.
It didn't fit the vibe of the rest of the movie.
Right. It just didn't fit the vibe. And it was just weird timing with that music. They could have probably placed that a little bit after the fact, like after he punched her. And I think you would have had more serious music before that. I think it would have been better. That's a small gripe, but it's solid. It's really solid. I'm going to have to give this on the Warehouse B scale. I would give this a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm going to too.
Like that's pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like, we were struggling to find cons to this thing.
Yeah.
So when you do that, you've got a solid movie. And speaking
of,
I'd
watch this again. I would buy it.
Yeah, yeah, it's that good.
Yeah.
Of course, this was the start of the underwater craze, which I'm thinking when they found the Titanic and filmed all the underwater stuff for National Geographic, I'm guessing the script started piling in after that
Probably
because
so. Yeah.
you got this and Deep Star Six, and I think that would probably be a good versus episode, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. We might have to do that.
There's like 5 or 6 The Abyss underwater movies that came out in 1989, and it's just wild to think about. But yeah, this is one of the better ones for sure.
Yeah. And this got really negative reviews, and I think maybe because they were too similar to Alien in the thing, but I mean, it was good. It was a solid movie. And I don't, like Andrew's a big sci-fi guy, and I'm really not as big into sci-fi. And I don't really like underwater stuff either that much.
Yeah.
But this, The Abyss is good, but this was good. I liked it. It was great. So yeah, I highly recommend this one.
Yeah. It's a good palate cleanser after what we've been through the last couple Warehouse Media episodes.
True.
But coming
Especially
up next,
Leprechaun.
yeah, coming up next, I'm not sure how it's going to go. We're talking maybe Lady Terminator, which looks wild. And
oh god, it looks so crazy.
To this point, we've not seen it yet, so yeah, that's still to be determined. But yeah, I can't wait to talk about that one. Just from the trailers.
Yeah, me too. I'm sure it's going to be dumb, but hopefully not Night Beast dumb. Hopefully like Samurai Cop dumb, or somewhere along that line, like fun dumb.
Right.
All right, so that's cool. That's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything in the future. And with that said,
we're out of here.